Coach, through your lens, what did you see as the reasons your group came up short tonight?
I had to go look back at the film, but you got to give Milwaukee a ton of credit for the way they came out and played. I think they set the tone physically in a lot of ways for the game. And so us being able to withstand that physical hits and the offensive rebounds, it was the timely things in those situations within this game. But having to go back and look at the film and see exactly what they did. But again, give them a ton of credit for how they came out. Again, it's hard to beat a team twice, especially when they make that type of adjustment. They went big again, and we got to continue to be better and grow from this and learn from this.
What did you think of the way your team defended tonight? I know you had to look at the film, but just what sense did you gather on the defensive end?
I mean, for the most part, I think, that third quarter, we gave up 36, second quarter 32. I think the offensive rebounds was a big portion of it, and they were timely more than anything. I think there was a time we were in the bonus and we fouled twice, got them on the free throw line to give them the advantage. Those are possessions that you can't get back. So I think us understanding the bonus time, putting guys on the free throw line at the wrong time, and then us valuing the ball on the other end.
So you spoke about the physicality. What were they doing to kind of keep you out of the paint? It seemed like you guys were getting kind of paint touches to create some of those three-point looks. But what did they do to keep you from scoring in the lane?
We just got to finish. I think a lot of times you just got to finish down there. I think they did a great job of packing the paint, shrinking the floor. We made the right play for guys in the kick-out shots. And Des hits 8 of them. We get some great looks at it. You got to knock those down. But again, our ability to finish at that rim is going to be key and important as teams continue to either pack the paint or they give you the lane to get downhill.
What did you see from Paolo tonight? Went 5 for 16 from the field.
Yeah, I think he sees a crowd every time he touches the paint, touches the basketball. I mean, we get the switch on the block out of the timeout. He makes the right play, gives Desmond the knockdown 3. I think his aggression getting to the basket was what we needed it to be. I think those things for him are just continue to be huge. Just being aggressive, getting downhill. He creates such a problem when he's on the floor for guys loading up to him and seeing bodies the entire night. That's how that paint ends up packed in because their bodies watching him all night long.
After Desmond got those relatively quick 20 points, did the Bucks change their approach to defending him at all?
Yeah, they went to a top lock, not trying to get him easy catches and easy touches. That's why it was easy to go off of pick and rolls with P, get him the touches. So then they double team. You put him in rotation, being able to find the easy pass to get him open as they left him at times. But again, you got to give that group, the Bucks, a ton of credit, and Doc what he's done with guys being in and out. I think that was a great job by them tonight.
Coach, 3 of the last 4 games, Jalen has logged 10-plus assists. What can be said about his impact as a distributor, and how do you hope he continues to utilize that after the All-Star break?
Yeah, that's what we're going to need him to continue to do. Be that facilitator, that playmaker, getting guys involved. Defensively, what we've asked him to do, turning up the heat, disrupting guards. But again, his ability to get teammates open, his speed, his vision, those are going to be very important for us as we continue to down the stretch.
I think you mentioned they went big earlier. Did you ever consider going to Goga or Jonathan throughout the night?
You look at a lot of things within this game. I think there's options that you can look at, but our pace in the past couple games with having the one big out there has been the advantage. That was the advantage in the last game, and it was the advantage early on in this game right now. But our ability to finish in transition after you get the stops has got to be key for us.
Mo back, it impacts the rotation a little bit for the center position. But what does Goga need to do to get back in the rotation after the All-Star break?
I mean, you got to think about it. Our March is looking very busy. We got to come out, and we have basically 17 games in 31 days. We got 3-4 back-to-back, so guys are going to stay ready. Those guys are going to play 48 minutes a night, so we've got to understand that whoever's number is called, when it's called, they've got to be ready. And I know those guys have always kept themselves ready, and they will be on the back end.
Jamal, what do you think of, what's your assessment of Franz's night tonight, 20 minutes? And how do you think he did on the floor tonight?
Yeah, I think it's for a guy that's coming back off of injury, missing so many games and trying to find that rhythm. I think that's a big key of what we're going to continue to see. I think the break is good for all of us to be able to reset, get our minds in the right space, and then get our physical bodies right. I think that's a big key for this group as well.
You just mentioned the break. Just what do you want your guys to do over the next week?
Yeah, I mean, obviously, get their bodies right, the rest that's needed for a couple days, and then make sure you're getting your conditioning in, make sure you're getting some shots up, just moving a little bit. But again, be ready for the back end of the season that turns into basically a sprint, and just understand we just got 3 out of 4 games. We would have loved to get tonight, but our ability to sit down, reset, rest our bodies, rest our minds, and then come out ready to go on the back end of it.
Kind of on that, obviously Franz is still working his way back, but it's always felt like this year you haven't been able to have all those pieces together and kind of working in tandem. How hopeful are you, or how much does a game like this show what this team can still be if they can get everything working together?
Philip, I'm extremely hopeful. I believe this team can do great things, and we will do great things. I think finding that rhythm within the team as we have a couple practices after the break, but it's going to come down to rest. Having these guys for basically this is a second game out of 400 and something that those 3 have been together. So it's going to take us a little bit of time, and obviously the back end is going to happen quick. So it's got to be in practices, it's got to be in film, it's got to be our communication, it's got to be us working together to make sure that we understand exactly what's needed on the back end.
Thank you, Coach.
Thank you, guys. Appreciate it.
I'll be back.
Is that too far apart?
We do. It ain't an act. Sure. Des, through your lens, what did you see as the reason you guys couldn't quite get over the hump and came up short tonight?
I mean, give them credit. Cam Thomas, came in, played a hell of a game off the bench, made some tough shots. A lot of shots that we felt good about and wanted to live with, but I thought they did a good job packing the paint on their end, really making it tough for us to get to the paint. Offensive rebounds, couldn't quite finish enough possessions, and then I had a dumb foul. They're in the bonus. Guys getting to the free throw line. Just a couple bonehead plays like that.
Jalen, just what did you take away from tonight, from your perspective, facing this team second time in 3 days? You said last night this would be the hardest one to win before the break. Just what was your takeaway?
Man, I think for the most part, I think we did pretty solid. I think we got a lot of good looks. I thought for the most part the ball was popping. There's a couple defensive lapses. In the moment, one guy has possession here, another guy has possession there. I have one here. And it may not be a ton, but just kind of accumulate, and especially in the fourth quarter, you want to get rid of those and, keep those out of the game. And, I thought they were a bit of a factor tonight down the stretch, just giving them a couple free baskets and sent them to the line a couple of times. But I think for the most part, everybody's pretty dialed, man, moving the ball. The process was right. They made a lot of shots. Jang was hooping. Cam Thomas was hooping. Kuz got going early, to kind of keep him in the game, and then those other guys down the stretch, really helped uplift him. So, yeah, I think you do have to give them a lot of credit. It's hard to beat a team twice in a row, they came out and did enough.
Des, kind of on that with the paint packed, you were able to get your shot going early and made some big shots down the stretch. Just what is it? What were you seeing and kind of feeling tonight, and how have you kind of found your comfort as the season has gone on with this group?
Yeah, I mean, I think having a full lineup. There's so many weapons out there, so many guys that can touch the paint, dynamic. It really opens up a lot of opportunities for me to get catch and shoot shots. Jay Suggs, 10 assists again tonight. He been passing the heck out of the ball. So, I think that as the season goes on, we're just continuing to find ways to help each other and play to each other's strengths.
Jalen, where do you feel like the team is at the All-Star break, and what do you guys want to get out of this break next week coming up?
Reset the mind, bro. Take care of the body, reset the mind, reground, and get ready for another 2 months of basketball. That's it. Literally, I think we're fine. We know what went down early in the season. We went through, our ups and downs and, adversities as every team does. And this is where we are, 28, 25. not even a horrible spot to be. You know, you see a lot of the best teams and a lot of the best runs. You get hot down the stretch of the season, you know, you carry that momentum into the off. So, like I told everybody today in the locker room, man, go reset, go ground. Don't think about this for a couple days. Just be. You know, when it's time to get back and we all get back together, there's no excuses. You know, we got to get our work done, and we got to become sharper. And yeah, hopefully that leads to good things on the stretch. But I think we're fine, man. Not to overreact or nothing. We know what's ahead of us, and we just got to go accomplish the task at hand.
Jalen, 3 out of the last 4 games, you've had 10-plus assists. How would you evaluate your growth as a facilitator this season, and how do you hope to utilize that aspect of your game down the home stretch of the season?
Shit, I just give him the ball. That's free assist, Kyle. Shooting the ball. But no, I ain't gonna lie. I think there's a lot of it has come from, you know, a lot of film, you know, a lot of reps, and a lot of conversations. You know, me and Des have great talks. Me and Stones have had a lot of great talks, especially in terms of getting guys to rock in positions to score. Javon Carter coming in has been great early on, and we've had a lot of good discourse. You know, me, AB, Franz, all of us. You know, we all have very good conversations, and you know, I think this guy's got me over time. You know, as I've gotten back and you know, just refine my way in the game. You know, it's an easy part and an easy way for me to find rhythm. You know, don't got to be too many shots. You know, on the nights I get them, knock them down. On the nights I don't, it's cool because I'm creating opportunities, I'm creating buckets, you know, and I can find some peace in that. So I'm really just trying to get guys the ball in positions to score so they can, you know, maximize their talents, whether it's AB, Des, P, Franz, Dell, Trish, Mo. Like, our lineup is so crazy. You know, I don't got to go get it, which is a blessing. So keep finding guys, keep creating problems, you know, and I think good things will come with that.
Either of you guys can answer this question right here. With Franz coming back in and he's coming off the bench, you know, on that minutes restriction, how challenging is it to work a guy back into the rotation when he's on the minutes restriction and getting him off the bench when he's normally in the starting lineup?
Yeah, I think it always takes a little bit of time, you know, both for the player and for the team. You know, I mean, just to insert an all-star back into the lineup and have him come off the bench is something that he's never done and we've never done this season. So there's going to be a learning curve, you know, but I'm sure he's going to get his work in over the break, keep attacking the break, and come back and be able to play a little bit more minutes, you know, going into the second half of the season. So, you know, it's just good to be healthy. You know, like Jay said, we got our group and we got a good opportunity ahead of us to keep going and build towards the postseason.
So, Des, looking back while you're on the break and you look back at the first half of this season, how are you seeing the team? You've seen the ups and downs, the ins and outs, and also do you look forward to the end of the season in a positive vein? Like there's a lot more you can do than you've already done.
Yeah, no doubt about it. I think that our best basketball is definitely in front of us, you know, and that's super exciting, knowing that we're not the team that we want to be and we have a lot of room to grow. You know, like Jay said, I just think sometimes just getting away from it and, you know, thinking about a little bit of the first half of the season or not thinking about basketball at all is good for your group, and then come back together with a refresh mind, refresh spirit, and go and hit the second half of the season running.
Thanks, guys. Thank you, everyone.
Catch y'all, man.
Thank you, Paige.